Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can start your curly or wavy hair journey. And I'm going to talk about some affordable products that I recommend. Products are going to be totally different for everyone though, so keep that in mind. I'm just going to talk about a few different things. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe down below and give the video a thumbs up. You can also head over to my Instagram and my Twitter, follow me over there if you would like to. And we're going to get into it, but I do want to preface this video by saying that I don't follow the curly girl method. So these are just things that I feel like would have helped me out in the beginning of wearing my hair natural and figuring out my natural texture and everything. And also just remember that this takes time. Like most people are gonna have a transition phase because most people have damage in their hair. I didn't have too much of one just because I didn't use heat on my hair very often at all. I just had really thick, long hair and I didn't like taking the time to use heat. So I would often just end up wearing my hair up. And I also had grown my natural hair out from like a short pixie cut, so I hadn't dyed my hair in years. So I happen to be lucky in that way, but that's definitely not going to be everyone's experience. We're gonna start with a place that I feel like is really good to know first, just because this is kind of where it all starts. A lot of people talk about starting fresh and cutting your hair really short, or at least getting a haircut that is specifically for wavy or curly hair. I don't think it's necessary to cut all your hair off. It really depends where you're at with your hair and what you want to do. Like I said, in my experience, I didn't need to do that because I didn't have all that damage to my hair, even though I had been doing some things that I did end up changing. But if you feel like your hair is just completely dead and it has a ton of damage and you just feel like it's destroyed and you want to cut your hair, absolutely go for it. I think it's a good place to start. But if you don't want to go that route, you can totally just get a haircut that is for wavy or curly hair. I know you'll see a lot of people with wavy curly hair that have like really short layers, like going up to their chin or even shorter, kind of like a shag haircut. And I totally see why people do that because it adds lightness to your hair and kind of creates more curl or wave shrinkage. But something I do want to mention that I feel like nobody talks about is that if you get a haircut like that and you have flatter hair underneath, like on the underneath layers of your hair, which my hair tends to be that way, you're basically just going to end up showing those long flat pieces underneath and then having all of your pretty waves or curls just cut short. So that's something to keep in mind. For me personally, I have a lot of weight in the back of my hair and that's just where my hair tends to be flatter. Like the top parts of my hair are just the nicest pieces. It's not going to be like that for everyone, but if you do have hair like that, I would recommend getting just a lot of texturizing and hidden layers within the hair. So I have my stylist take out some weight in like the back underneath parts of my hair and just kind of go in there and texturize and do some hidden layers instead of just layers on the top of the hair. She does do some of that as well to kind of lighten the hair and just create some texture and difference in lengths and stuff. But it's nothing crazy to where I have like really intense layers on the top of my hair that go really short. That's just not something that works really well for my hair. And I feel like if you have heavier hair or flatter hair underneath, you might have the same experience and you might not want to go for that really short layered haircut. Now, if you have hair underneath that is a lot nicer and curlier than the pieces on top, I think that's a great haircut for you because it's going to allow those pieces to shine and then also have the top layers a little bit shorter and lighter so they can create a little bit better shrinkage. I do want to say if you have shorter hair, you can do like a slight angle to the front to keep from getting that triangle head in the back. That's what I did. My hair is growing out now, so that's not really something I would focus on as much anymore, but just if you have shorter hair, that might help. I know this was kind of a long rant on that one topic, so I'm going to move on from that now, but I really just wanted to touch on that because like I said, I feel like people don't really talk about it and it does depend on your personal wave or curl pattern and the inconsistency or consistency of it, the type of haircut that you want to get. The next thing I want to mention to kind of get it out of the way, because I know nobody really likes to hear this, is taking a break from using heat on your hair and chemically processing or bleaching your hair. I don't follow the curly girl method, and so this is something that I don't think you have to just cut out of your life. I think it's something that it's really good to take a break from in the beginning because you want to get that life back to your hair. And if you're just continuing to add damage on top of damage, you're kind of defeating the purpose of trying to get your natural hair to look its best, just because that's really the first place that really hurts your waves or curls. Like heat and bleach are just gonna kind of flatten your hair. If you want to do that over time, that's totally fine. Like once your hair is kind of at a better place and you can kind of figure out how to take care of it afterwards to get the best results in your hair and kind of like heal it after that. When I would bleach my hair, I would do like intense masks on my hair a lot after, and just like a lot of moisturizing products to get that life kind of back in my hair. I am going to be getting rid of my balayage in a couple of weeks here though, so I'm going to be saying goodbye to this just because I don't feel like it's really me. I want to go to a more like overall color and do like a light to medium brown. The next thing to remember that I think would have helped me out a lot, especially since I had really long, thick hair when I started this, is to not be afraid to use more product. I know that like you don't want to use way too much product and just weigh down your hair, especially if you just have waves and you don't have tighter curls. But I remember thinking, wow, people use that much product. Like generally when people are just heat styling their hair and going in with a little bit of texturizing spray or like a balm or something, they would just use like the tiniest amount. And it's really different, I feel like, with curly and wavy products and leave-ins and creams and things like that, because you can get away with using a lot, especially since usually us wavies and curlies have drier hair. And also if you have thicker hair, you're gonna wanna use a lot of like a mousse or a gel too to get that cast. So just keep that in mind. That can help a lot with excessive frizz that you might have. When you have hair damage and breakage, that creates a lot of frizz, so it can take time to kind of heal that and get your hair to a smooth place. It can help with frizz to use more product, but keep in mind, it's really going to be different for different hair types. In my personal experience, the people that I've talked to in my life that also have wavy curly hair, the ones that have more fine hair and less wave to it really tend to do better with things like gels and light leave-ins. And then for someone that has a little bit more coarse, thick hair, which I'm kind of in the middle, it tends to work better to use more thick curl creams and things like that. I'm not exactly sure why that is, and it can vary from person to person, but just a little tip, I feel like that's kind of how it ends up being. For me, I can kind of use both types of things. I don't like a super thick, heavy curl cream, but pretty much anything else tends to kind of work with my hair just because I have that like in between. It's not super thick, not super thin, and then it also is kind of like a medium density. It's not really coarse. It used to be when I was younger, but now it's kind of like that medium because it's definitely not fine. I don't have fine hair. So another one, don't worry too much about this in the very beginning, just because it can kind of feel like a lot of information. But once you've been wearing your hair natural for a while, think about figuring out your protein moisture balance. Deep conditioning products or products with a lot of protein can kind of make or break your hair. I'll try to insert some pictures where my hair was like over moisturized or had a protein overload, just to give you a little bit of an idea. I think I have some because I've used them in another video in the past. Like I said, don't worry too much about that in the beginning. For me personally, I find that protein really tends to create a tighter wave or curl and give you like better clumps and things like that. But if you have too much of it, it can kind of leave your hair like brittle and dry and like frizzy. And then with moisture, I feel like it really helps with like just like smooth definition and just making your hair supple and everything like that. But if you have too much of that in your hair, it can kind of create like limp waves and just leave your hair and your curl pattern a little bit flatter and like less tight, if that makes sense. So that's just my experience, and that is something that you kind of just have to figure out as you go, because I definitely had no clue about moisture or protein in the very beginning. I didn't know like what my hair needed, and I still got good results in the beginning. So I should have mentioned, I'm going to talk about the products in the end, just because I feel like it's easier than trying to talk about it at different points in the video. We're almost there though, but I want to mention a couple more things. Something that really changed the game for me, and if you're completely new to all of this, it's really important. I'm sure most of you guys know it if you've been watching videos like this for a while, but avoid brushing your hair after you style it, unless it's like your second or third day and you're going to be wearing your hair up until your next wash day, just because that like kills all your definition. It creates like this big frizzy poofy hair that a lot of us have dealt with if we have texture. like natural texture to our hair. That's something I dealt with a lot growing up. It was like I just had that big poofy frizzy hair, and still, like, if I brush my hair out dry, I tend to usually get that. Every once in a while, depending on what products are in my hair, it can actually be smooth and I still have that pretty wave, but just like it's all smooth together. But that's very rare for me. Most of the time my hair gets big and poofy and frizzy. So if you're going to be wearing your hair up until you wash it, it's not a big deal. I'm not super strict with like never brushing my hair while it's dry. It's more just like, don't brush it if you're gonna wear it down, because you're just kind of getting rid of all your definition. Kind of going along with that, you don't want to be washing your hair every day. This is something that I knew way before I knew I had wavy curly hair. I just knew that it wasn't good to wash your hair every day, and so I would kind of space it out every couple days. I wash my hair now like about twice a week, sometimes just once a week. It can take time to like train your hair, but you can kind of just work up to it. If you already wash your hair every single day, start with just skipping one day, and then like every other day, and then every 2 days, and so on. Just kind of slowly training your hair to not get greasy, because that is why hair gets greasy when you wash it every day. Is it just like it's overproducing all those oils that you're stripping from your hair. Lastly, really basic again, don't use a regular towel on your hair. This is also something that I knew before I started the curly wavy hair journey. You can use a soft cotton t-shirt or a microfiber towel or something like that that's really gentle on your hair. You could even use like a satin or silk scarf to squeeze out extra moisture. But I do tend to now style my hair when it's a little bit more wet anyways, so I don't have to dry it as much. But that also just kind of depends on the look you're going for. In my last video, I tried Shea hair routine, and she styles her hair when it's a little bit more damp, and that just gave me more like volume and stuff. So if you want that kind of a look, you could dry your hair a little bit more. But anyways, I feel like I've rambled a lot in this video, so I'm going to try to quickly talk about some of the products I recommend. This is going to be different for everybody. I just want to talk about some different things that I feel like will work for different people. These are all like affordable products, because in the beginning, especially if you don't know what curl type you have, or if you even have really wavy hair, you don't want to be spending a ton of money on products. And in general, some people don't ever want to spend a ton of money on hair products. So first thing I want to mention is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line. I have 4 products from them. I have the defining cream, the sculpting gel, the curl activating mousse. You guys know this is one of my favorites. And then the curl care shampoo. That's the one I just tried out in my last video when I did Shea Ebates hair routine, but they're not sponsoring this or anything like that. They didn't send these to me. I purchased them with my own money, but I just genuinely have loved all of the products here that I've tried. I haven't tried everything from the Curl Talk line, so I can't recommend everything personally, but I think that they would be good to try because they're really affordable, and a lot of people love the other products that I haven't tried. So I definitely recommend these products from the Curl Talk line. They're all really good. The Curl Talk shampoo is really, really cleansing, and it lathers up really nicely. It's a great shampoo to start with if you haven't ever tried a more natural shampoo and you want something that's going to give you that intense lather, just in case you're kind of scared to use something that's a little bit more moisturizing. I know I didn't talk about not using sulfates and silicones in this video just because I don't feel like that's the most important thing ever. I think it's better to use them in moderation. Like, obviously they're not great for your hair and you don't want to be overloading your hair with sulfates and silicones, but I don't think it's like gonna ruin your hair if some of your products have that in it. But I don't think that any of the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk have sulfates and silicones. Another thing I want to recommend is this Shea Moisture Hydrate and Repair Protein Power Treatment. This is a product I've used and talked about for a long time. It's a great protein and moisture mask if you're looking for a protein product. This is really great because it does give your hair that hydration, but it also has a lot of protein in it, and that's mainly what I use this for. If I just want moisture, I'll use something else, but this is a really good protein mask if you want something that's affordable, that's gonna give you that protein in your hair without having to go out and buy a bunch of different products. As far as leave-ins, my 2 favorite are both from Target. You can get these at Target and maybe Ulta. They're not the cheapest ever, but they're the ones that I have and use and really like. So the first one is this Kinky Curly Not Today Natural Leave-In Detangler. It's moisturizing. It smells good. I heard a lot of people talk about this, but I ended up purchasing it because of Melinda here on YouTube. She raves about this, and I do think it's a really good leave-in at a good price. And then the other one that I've talked about a lot, I'm getting low on my bottle. This is the Kristen S Weightless Shine Leave-In Conditioner. This is great if you really want a super light product that isn't gonna be too heavy, too moisturizing. If you don't need a lot of moisture, you just wanna spray something in your hair and go. I usually put this in my hair before my other styling products. And it adds that moisture without being too much if I want to use other moisturizing products in my hair. I just feel like this is a good one if you don't need a really heavy leave-in, and it's really easy to use because, like I said, it's a spray. And then for shampoo and conditioner, I already talked about the Curl Talk shampoo, but I also really love the Pacifica Pineapple Curls shampoo and conditioner. These are both really great. I'm almost out of my conditioner. I have like maybe one more use in this. The shampoo is a little bit more moisturizing than the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk. It's just lightweight and it's not stripping or anything like that. And then the conditioner is just a really nice, thick but not too thick conditioner. It's a great in between. And I just feel like these are really good, kind of foolproof products if you want something for your waves or curls. Love the Pacifica Pineapple Curl shampoo and conditioner. And then also love the Maui Moisture and Shea Moisture shampoo and conditioners. Personally, I prefer the Maui Moisture shampoos and then the Shea Moisture conditioners. That's just what I found worked the best for my hair. I feel like the Shea Moisture conditioners are a little bit like thicker and creamier, which I prefer for my hair. And then the Maui Moisture shampoos are a little bit lighter and they're not so like moisturizing as some of the Shea Moisture shampoos that I've used. So that's just my preference, but I feel like you can try either one from both brands. And that's all the products that I wanted to mention. I feel like this video is way too long, so I'm sorry for that, but I really wanted to get all the information in here that I wanted to talk about because I feel like these things would have really helped me out in the beginning. Yeah, I hope this video isn't repetitive. I know I've done like mistakes videos and things that you should do for your wavy hair, but I really wanted to kind of put it all together in one video, just like the best place I feel is to start. If you kind of don't really know what you're doing at all and you just want like the basics, I feel like this is a good place to start. So I really hope that this video helped you guys out. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below, like I said. That is going to be it for today's video. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.